Hello, my sewing friends. Here is how I turned my regular waistband jeans with a button and a zip fly into these with an elastic waist. I'm Jen and this is my sewing room, and thanks for stopping by today to watch how I figure this out. Seriously, this is not really as much a tutorial as it is a let's watch Jen do all the brain work here and figure out what the heck she's doing. This was a bit of a make it up as I go along kind of process, and I filmed it that way so that if you have an inclination to do this same kind of thing or anything really with regard to sewing and you want to figure it out as you go, it can be done. It can be done. You'll probably reach conclusions long before I do, and you'll be yelling at the screen, Jen, just do it this way. So I would very strongly encourage you to watch this at least 1.5 speed or 2 times the speed, just so you don't get bored. And you can slow it down in the parts or stop it at the parts that you think, what is she doing there? The way that you do that on your phone, there should be 3 little dots in a row, and when you tap on that, it will give you a whole list of options, and just go to playback speed and then scroll down till you find 2x, and that'll do it. If you're watching this on a computer, then there's a little gear, and when you click on that, then you can click on playback speed and it will give you those same options. So I strongly encourage you to do that. But in the meantime, here is how I did it. Okay, so let's figure this out. In order to put an elastic waistband on these cropped jeans, what I've done is take off the waistband, which was like this. So I just seam ripped all of it off, and then I removed the zipper, doing the same thing, all kinds of threads in here. And what I'm left with is this, I forget what this is called, but it's the back part of the zipper. You know, the zipper was sewn here and here. So that's what I'm left with. So what I need to do is disconnect this down here. It's sewn with I think it's a bar tack. So I'll just take that out, and then what I think I'm going to do is just top stitch this right here. So I have a faux fly front with no zipper, and it'll just be like this on the back. It won't have this, which is just going to create extra bulk, so I'm not even going to worry about that. So I'll just take this off and top stitch that shut. I think I'll start with that. Okay, now I have my jeans. The fly is closed up. I top stitched along here and here. And so on the inside, I'm not sure that I'm gonna like having this loose. And so what I thought I would do is the same thing that is on my jeans here that fit me. There's a knit panel here. It's almost like a tummy control panel, but it's just a polyester that's, I don't know, it's a knit that's very stretchy. So I have some actual power net that I think I may use. And I think all I'm gonna have to do is just top stitch it here and here, and then put it across, actually about as deep as the pockets are. So I'm going to go in search of that and put that on, and then I'm going to measure the waistband here and cut it from these jeans. I do have power net, but it is black, so that is not going to work. So what I'm going to do is just use this white knit that I have. I don't have very much of it, maybe a little less than a yard. So let's see, do I want to put it this way or this way? It looks like this way. So that's where the most amount of stretch is. So I am just going to lay this along here. Now on this one, this is top stitched here on this edge, but this is 2 layers that have been folded. So what I need to do is cut this much and then lay this part on the fold and then fold it back up again. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to lay this out so that I have about as much as I want. Let's see. Maybe what I should do is this. Okay, so that let's go a little further over there and just kind of, I'm not going to pin this down. I suppose I could if I really wanted to be exact, but I don't know that I care that much. Okay, let's see if I can straighten that out. Yes, there we go. Okay, so I know that I want to fold it right about there. So even though I'm going to fold it up this way when I put it on, I'm going to fold it right now. I'm just going to fold it back until I come to the edge there. About that much. Okay. All I'm going to do here is just clip this and cut it. My scissors are getting dull. And now I am going to move that out of the way. And I'm going to cut this right there. And I'm also going to cut off this selvage edge because I know I left myself there enough to be able to do it. Okay, there's my panel. Now I just need to trim that off. I just need to take this and attach it at the side seams. Okay, so I'm gonna do that. Okay, now I have my panel on that will serve as like a tummy, control. And now what I need to do is measure my waistband here because I know it fits me, and then cut the elastic the same size. And then I'm not sure, this is top stitched here and obviously here because it's top stitched down over top of the seam, but I'm not sure how to do this. If I should take this, cut it, slide the elastic in, and then stitch it and stretch it as I stitch it. I'm not sure if I should do that or if I should put it on and then top stitch it. I don't know. I'm not sure. Well, I'll figure that out in a minute, but first of all, I have to cut a waistband out of this fabric, or these jeans. So I'm just going to measure with a measuring tape, and I know this is 2 inches, so I need to add seam allowance to that. So I'll probably add about 1/2 inch. So 2.5 inches, 2 times 2.5 is 5, so I'll make it 5 inches wide, and whatever this is. So okay, I am at right about 32 inches. So I will go ahead and see if I can get 32 inches out of this. So, okay, obviously I want to find the widest part of this. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is cut it at the widest spot, which is right here. Okay, now I have this. Now I need to go 5 inches from here, which looks like it's about, let's see, where can I hit 5 inches? About right here. So I'm going to mark that with a friction marker, which will go away with heat. Now I'm going to slice that right there. And important here, I can't go this way because this doesn't stretch enough that way. It stretches this way. And with this waistband, the stretch is this way, not this way. So that's why it'd be great if I could go this way and just get the waistband all in one piece, but I can't do that because that's not the way it stretches. So I'm just gonna cut this. I'm gonna cut this with my rotary cutter because I think maybe it'll be sharper and easier to do. Okay, so now, oh, and I have a seam. I have two seams there. Well, look at that. All right, so let's see. 32, so if I can go probably 16, except I'll have to go 17 for the front and 17 for the back. Well, I need seam allowance is what I'm thinking. And if I do a 1/2 inch on either side of, okay, 32 divided by 2 is 16. And if I do a 1/2 inch on either side, that's 17. If I do this, I think I'm gonna have more than enough. But just to make sure that I cut it the right size, I'm gonna go ahead and sew these here and here, just so when I cut them, hopefully I can cut these off and I'll be good. I can just cut two 17-inch pieces. Even though there will be a seam in the middle, you know, that's life. Okay, so I'm just gonna put right sides together and I'm just gonna stitch right here and I'll be right back. Okay, I've stitched my two seams so that I have one long continuous piece. Now I'm gonna press these open, but I'm not gonna finish the edges because it's just gonna get enclosed. I mean, it's gonna get folded like this, so I'm not gonna worry about it. Okay, now I need two pieces that are 17 inches because I need a 1/2 inch here and a 1/2 inch here, and this should be 16 inches because that's half of 32. So I need 1/2 inch on either side. I mean, if I do it this way, this is 18 inches, I think. Yeah, this is 18 inches, an 18-inch ruler. So let's see, if I do it this way, then I guess it would be better to offset these seams rather than have, you know, them front and center, you know, like, let's see, where's 8.5? Right there. You know, that would give me two seams here and then one seam in the middle and one seam center back, which I don't think I want to do that. I think I just want to do it this way. So yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do, so that these two connecting seams are offset. So they'll be just, what is that, 5 inches from this seam, 4.5 inches, something like that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and mark this. Okay, now I need to join these together to make a circle. Okay, so I'll just sew here and here, 1/2 inch. You know, I got over to the sewing machine and I realized I didn't want to sew this so that these two seams lined up. I didn't want to do it that way. I decided to offset them so that essentially I could actually do it this way, where I don't actually have a side seam. I have two kind of almost to the side seams. So I'm going to take this over and I'm going to press it, and then I'm going to fold it in half and grab my elastic and figure out what to do from there. I pressed my seams open, you can see here, and then I pressed my waistband in half, and this thing will stretch. I'm liking that. Okay, you know, I should just check and make sure it's 32 inches. So, well, it's a little over 16, so, oh well, that's all right. Okay, now I need to put my elastic in, and this is my 2-inch elastic. So I'm just going to do this, which is not very scientific, but I'm going to do it this way. And let's see. Okay. So I don't think that I want to overlap this elastic. I think I want to just butt it up against it. So I think what I'll do is a tip that I saw on Threads, in Threads magazine, where what you do is you take a piece of fusible interfacing and you fuse it, and then you can just zigzag. So I think that's what I'm going to try. So I'm going to cut this right here and go fuse a piece of interfacing, and then I'm going to zigzag over top of it. So I joined my elastic with a satin stitch essentially on my zigzag, and I've got fusible interfacing here, and I'm going to leave that on there. I don't know, I think it maybe is a good idea to do that. So now I have to decide how I'm going to do this. So I want to put this inside my waistband here. I think I'll put it so that this is not at a seam, which I may regret, but I don't know, maybe not. I'm kind of making this up as I go along. So, okay, sliding my elastic inside. Okay. So far, so good. Oh, make it up as you go along. I really do fly by the seat of my pants with pretty much everything in my life. Okay. So, all right, now I have, it's in there. So, okay, now the question is, what do I want to do? Do I want to top stitch this now to hold that elastic in there, or do I want to just sew this to the waist, to the sew the waistband on? Let me have another look at this. Okay, this is top stitched here and here, and so it looks like they've just, gosh, that elastic goes all the way. So, all right, I have 2-inch elastic. So what I should probably do then is cut my waistband down to where it's 2 inches and then just deal with that. And maybe attach it. Let's see. What if I did this? What if I went through and attached it right sides together, sewed this on, went back in and put the elastic in, and then trimmed the seam down to where I have this right here. So, I mean, essentially I would have this much. You know what I could do is just do a 1/4 inch seam allowance around here. Yeah, you know what? I think that's what I'll do. All right, so what I'm going to do is sew this on to here, right sides together, and I'm going to do it at a 1/4 inch seam allowance, and then I'm going to come back and put my elastic in, and then I'll fold this back down and then serge around the edge, and then I'll do my top stitching. We'll see how that works. I've sewn the waistband on here, and now I'm going to put my elastic in, and I think, oh gosh, I don't know. I guess I'm going to lap it over. See, this one goes beyond the seam line. It's like it's serged to this side, the facing side of the waistband, and then just top stitched on the other side, and then top stitched up here. So I think I could do that. I mean, it'll just make the waistband a little bit thinner, but that's okay. I think this is okay. Yeah, I think this is okay. So I'm gonna take the waistband down to, well, I don't know, like 1/8 of an inch below that seam, just right below it, so that I can top stitch it. And when I top stitch it, it'll just barely catch. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. It's pinned all the way around. Ooh, that looks like a yoga waistband. Yay. Okay, so now, you know what I think I'll do is just go over to the ironing board and press this up right even with the elastic. And as I press it, that will give me a cutting line that I can go back and use to trim this waistband so that I can then serge the waistband to the elastic and then top stitch. Okay, I've gone around and pressed this up. And now what I think I will do is take these pins out, and I'm going to pull this elastic just down just to get it out of the way. And now I'm going to go in and I'm going to trim this right at this fold line that I've pressed. So let me do that. Okay, so now there's my waistband. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my elastic and line it up with this edge, and I'm going to go in and serge, but I may even just put my knife down so I don't cut anything away, because I don't want to cut away any of this elastic. I just want to enclose that, just attach it to the waistband. So I don't know, maybe I can take my knife down or something, but I have a feeling that when Levi's did this, they probably had wider elastic and then they just serged it off. Maybe they used 3-inch elastic or something. I don't know, or maybe 2.5. I need to investigate to see if you can get wider elastic. That's what I think. Okay, so now I'm just going to take this over to the serger and I'm going to serge this elastic to the top edge, well, what is now the top edge. It's going to be the inside edge of the waistband. You know what? I think this worked. Okay, I went back through and I serged this elastic to the bottom edge. Well, it's kind of the top edge, but the bottom edge of the waistband on the inside. And now all I need to do is go through and top stitch on the outside here and here. And I think I will have this. I think it worked. Okay, so I'm just going to pin this because I want to make sure that it's held down. And I'm going to top stitch from the other side, just so that I can go in probably about, I don't know, what is that, 2 or 3 millimeters from the edge. Well, that would be what, I don't know, 3/16. Not that that really makes any difference. I'm going to end up sewing it where I sew it, and that's just how it's going to end up. I guess the real tragedy here is going to be if it doesn't fit, but I think it will. I think it will, because it's pretty much exactly the same as that one. Okay. You gotta love it when a plan comes together. Look at this. It worked. It worked. It's an elastic waistband. Oh, I'm so happy about this. I top stitched this at really close, probably like 3/16 away from this seam edge, and I just barely caught the edge of this finished edge that has the elastic and where I serged it to the waistband. And then I went around and top stitched the top edge, and now I have elastic waist cropped pants. I am really happy about this. Yay, it worked. Yep, that was all there was to it. Long process, a little bit of brain work, but you know what? I ended up with the elastic waist jeans that I really wanted. And the beautiful thing about this is that now that I've done it, I can do it again and again and again. And next time, I think I may use wider elastic. And yeah, pretty easy stuff, huh? I hope you will give this a try if you would prefer moving to a more elastic waistband life with COVID. Who isn't moving to that? But if you have any questions, let me know in the comments and we'll chat there. And I can't promise any definitive answers, but all I can tell you is what I experienced as I was going through the process. So anyway, hope this helps you out if you want to do this, and let me know if you try it. And that's it for now from me. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.